all apprentices and delivery staff must wear PPE at all times in an official workshop. Note that these practical examples are filmed in a teaching environment.
Okay, so with the live test at the incoming supply complete, we've got the safe isolation removed with the cover back on, and all that time the switch is in the off position. Now the cover is securely on, I can put the switch into the on position. That's now moved energized onto the board. All the little sliders on the circuit breakers are in place, but all my circuit breakers are actually in the off position. The next test we need to do are the live tests on the actual circuits. And the first one of those we need to do would be ZS of each individual circuit. Now there's two ways to do this, and the first way is by measurement. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to measure my ZS for my sockets. So I need to bring on my ring final circuit. Okay, so the same as doing ZdB, we need to set the meter up, and we're doing ZS, which is basically a live to earth test. So we're on LPE, and that needs to be set to Z. And the meter again is going to default to 3 low, and we've got an RCBO at the board and at the supply, so we need that on 3 low. Okay, now simply take a reading of each socket outlet, and then we're going to record the worst case scenario, which would be the highest value. So the first socket was 0.39 ohms. At the next point, .47, and at the last point, 0.42. So for this test, 0.47 was the highest value that I would be recording on the paperwork. Okay, so that's our measured ZS of our ring final circuit gone, and we've recorded the highest value of our 3 tests there as the worst case scenario. The other way you can record ZS is to do this by calculation, and the formula used for ZS is ZE plus R1 and R2. Now we've measured R1 and R2 for all the circuits, and the ZE that we're going to use for this is actually the ZdB that we recorded during the live tests at the board. So for each circuit then, you'd need to do that calculation using the R1 and R2 for each circuit that you've done and ZdB value you've recorded. So let's go to the paperwork and do that.
Firstly, let's record the measured value from the sockets. Next, we need to calculate all the other values. Now we need to go back to the scheduler circuit details, where the maximum permitted ZS has been recorded. We need to compare our measured values to make sure they don't exceed the maximum permitted values. Maximum permitted values taken from BS7671 would need to be corrected by a factor of 80%. However, the values shown here have come from Table A5 of Guidance Notes 3. These values have already been corrected and can be directly compared. Remember, when the maximum permitted values of ZS recorded do not come from BS7671, then you need to record the source of those values in the remarks section of the schedule of test results.